Come out. Hey, young man. That be Biscuit. There you go. There's your catnip. Hi, honey. There you go, young man. There you go. I'll let you have that. Okay? Alright. Hi, my name is Daphne, and we are out here. I think the humidity must be at about 90 or 100% because it's been raining for the last 2 days. It's going to be raining for the rest of the week. Kind of uncomfortable out here. Tons and tons and hundreds of mosquitoes. So I have a trusty little bug zapper just swatting them as we speak here. I would be in the house in the air conditioning, just minding my business. But I have a tarp up, which you see kind of behind me, that is actually full to the brim of mulberries because we had a massive storm that came through. If I don't clear those mulberries, I'm going to lose my covering. So I'm going to clear the mulberries, dump them in the recycling bin as quickly as I can. And then maybe refill the bird waters just because they're gross right now. The birds love swimming in those things. That might be the only thing that actually gets done today because it is disgusting out here. And I feel icky. I feel really icky. The bug screen at this point is no longer working, or the bug spray. It is horribly humid out here. So I'm going to give you guys a garden tour so you can see the beautifulness of the garden space. Please forgive me if you see swatting every now and again. There's just been a lot of rain and a lot of activity. So I'll show you guys what the garden looks like. It is beautiful, but we're going to first and foremost remove those mulberries. So I'm not even going to give you guys any type of spiel outside of let's go. Let's get to work so we can get back in the house and take a shower because I am itchy. Just, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This. You see this? Pollen and mulberries. Beautiful thing. Alright, so I did want to show you guys around and do a very small garden tour. Just be mindful there are weeds everywhere. Nicely fully grown out weeds just because we've had so much rain in the past week. But there's some beauty in this garden space, and even though it is very tiny, we're growing a lot. Growing herbs and sunflowers, and we have peas coming now. which I have to talk about in a little bit. We have peas. We also have pole beans growing up as well. We're transitioning out our salad greens and putting collard greens and mustard greens in the raised bed. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot going on. So I'm going to show you guys what the garden space looks like. So let's go. So just to start, we have our little carrot patch here. Definitely needs to be weeded around it, but I actually took the mesh cloth from on top because obviously the carrots have outgrown it. Look at this. I definitely need to weed, but the gate isn't so tall where I can't just, you know, pluck out a weed if need be and leave the carrots there. So they are definitely getting larger. This I actually put around it is just some spare gating I had, some spare fencing I had in the garage with some posts that actually go to the greenhouse, but since I only use it once a season, I can use them in here. But I'm in some what do you call it, zip ties. But just, it's something makeshift. It doesn't look the best, but it would keep out the raccoons and whatever else we have in here. I mean, squirrels are going to do what they're going to do, but I typically find that they actually have a lot more spaces to dig to plant their nuts in. So I haven't seen anything climb in here yet, but it's just a way for me to keep things from digging in here until the carrots actually get up some size. And then at some point I'm thinking about interplanting leeks just to deter the scent a little bit, or to disturb the scent a little bit. But we do have our carrots. Actually, the first time I've actually grown carrots, it actually looked like we might get a root. Then our garden beds, we actually have had like 3 to 4 successful harvests of salad greens, and they've been absolutely delicious. These bouquets have been beautiful, but I don't know if you've noticed, but it is starting to go to seed. We do have one more remaining purple bok choy there. We have our top soy that is definitely getting ready to go to seed. And the Paris Island lettuce is usually the last to go to seed. And so while I cut these back, and you can see I've cut 2 off so far. In between here and maybe over there as well, a collard green will actually go in it. I don't know if you can notice this, but like we definitely have, oh, here's one. Nice little cabbage worm right there. That is healthy. I'll leave them for the birds. Have a healthy population of birds in this garden space. But I do need some BT. The only problem is you can't really use, oh, here's another one. Should probably leave them to see if the birds will get them, but they are destroying my cabbage. You can't really use anything organic, so your BTs and your diatomaceous earth, you can't use that while you still have rain because the rain just makes it not work. So I'm not quite sure what to do right now outside of just picking them off as I see them and hoping that the plants can survive the ravishing that it's taking until I can actually get some BT and actually just kill them. I thought about putting the insect netting back up, but that never works. Every single year they get in here. I don't know if the cabbage moths are actually in the soil, but every single year, like clockwork, they get in here and they destroy things. So this year, I'm actually just going to keep the netting off and just be more preventative. Just spray the BT, diatomaceous earth, blood meal does deter some things as well. So we're just going to do that and see if that works. Then in here, finally did clear the mulberries. This screen is amazing. I really wish that I had put it up initially before I put anything in, but I just didn't know this tree was going to be so fully loaded this year. It is keeping the common greckles and the other birds that like to eat fruit, is keeping them contained. I hope that they have enough berries for the season because typically they go after my blueberries and, well, my blackberries and my raspberries and my mulberries, and my elderberries. So hopefully they have enough to not go after my berries. But we do have, look at this borage here. It's impressive. And none of this borage, all of this back here, I did not plant. There's borage here, borage here. Once you let one borage actually complete its life cycle and go to seed, you'll have borage for life. You don't have to plant it. Look, baby borage popping up right there as well. So my weeds in this garden, year 6, is literally plants that are unwanted. Even back there behind the gate, there's chocolate mint spreading. I was actually hoping the lemon balm would spread a little bit so I can actually put some in the other container, but I might have to propagate it. But the chocolate mint is crazy. I'm gonna have to definitely dig that up. But we do have our tomatoes that are doing fairly well. This one here, Cherokee Purple, they've actually looked like they've completely acclimated, doing really well. Hopefully all of these aren't chocolate mint. Cherokee Purple, Amish Paste here. We have our squash that is doing pretty well. This one actually looks like it's trellising out. Butternut squash. We have our dill doing pretty well. Outside of the basil that's kind of been eaten by slugs, look at this one. This one must be a Cherokee Purple. Nope, San Marzano, and it is doing amazing. They really did love the rain. So we have, everything is doing pretty well. The nasturtiums are popping up. And then on this side, we do have the borage coming up. We do have the squash, which is trellising out. And I actually didn't grow dill to actually harvest dill. We don't pickle a lot. I actually grew dill to actually attract the monarch butterflies. So it is doing amazing in this area. So everything is actually still alive, doing wonderful so far. And we take a moment to appreciate this nasturtium though. I mean, these little leaves. Also very edible. You can definitely put these in salads as well. I'm not actually taking leaves right now just because it's still getting acclimated, but you can definitely put it in salads. Peppery is the taste for it, very peppery. I definitely need to do some weeding though. And maybe the last thing I might do before I go in the house is cut down this stinging nettle. But we do have the peppers over here are doing well. Especially now that there isn't a whole lot of mulberries dropping on this now because it attracts so many flies and other things. I do need to remove all of the foliage back here to allow for more airflow. But we do have all of our peppers doing very well. Even the little squash that I stuck back here actually seems to be doing okay. And we do have some peppers on the porch as well that is definitely getting acclimated. The peppers on the porch actually do better than the ones out here. I will always say that even though people say peppers like their feet dry and they also like direct sun or they like a lot of intense sun, they don't really seem to like the sun in my backyard. I actually think that the peppers do a lot better on the porch in indirect sun than in direct sun. And this bed is mostly shaded. Usually if I put them in direct sun, they don't last long. They get heat scorched or sun scorched and they don't do too well. I'm actually going to remove this. It's just in the way. We do have our echinacea that is starting to flower, which is pretty exciting. This one is actually a couple of plants. I don't know if you can see it down here. I've already separated this plant once, but I think in early spring next year I'm actually going to separate it out. I don't have anywhere else to put it, but I might actually just start harvesting the root now. So that's pretty exciting. 4 years, I started these plants from seed, and I can probably start harvesting the roots from these. And then in this little bed here, aside of some impressive weeds, we do have our first little zinnia to pop up. Interestingly enough, I don't know if I planted, did I plant pink zinnias? Oh, maybe, I guess so. I know that these zinnias are hybrids, so it would be interesting to see exactly what colors they are, but just so beautiful. Some healthy nasturtiums down here. Literally just a flower bed for now, but I might put something else in there. We have our catnip, which is doing amazing in that bed there. And then all throughout here, it looks like the zinnias have actually overcome the slug damage. And then I actually just put out the garbage cans, the dollar store garbage cans, to protect the okra. Not necessarily to protect it from anything like any bug damage, because bugs can get in there, but more so to protect it from the other plants encroaching on its space. And then like they don't have enough room to grow. So we do have an okra that's actually doing fairly well in there. These beautiful nasturtium flowers. You see that? It's gorgeous. We have a beautiful nasturtium in here. Meow. 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 I know you want that catnip. Meow. And then we have one little okra here, which may or may not make it. We have another okra in here. And then another okra in that one and that one. All of which seem to be doing pretty well. So I didn't have an okra die yet. Even this little one looks to be coming back. So they might take off. Then our two flowers here. And then the bed that I am most excited about is our Kellogg's breakfast or colorful tomato bed here. Have our basil doing amazing here. Definitely needs to be picked. Look at our nasturtiums, not our nasturtiums, but our marigolds doing amazing. And we have our tomatoes, which actually did really well with all of that rain there. And then our peas. Look how tall these things are. I mean, this gate has to be over 6 feet, well, at least 6 feet at this point. And the peas are still climbing up. I think they've gotten taller than they did last year. And look, beautiful flowers here. And we have peas everywhere. So I did taste a few of these peas. I could have swore I brought sugar snap peas, I think, but I have to check the package. The pods aren't as sweet. I grew some pods 2 years ago that were just very sweet. I'm hoping the peas are actually sweet because the pods, they don't taste as chalky as the purple ones last year. The purple peas last year were beautiful, but they tasted like nothing. These actually do taste like peas. There's a slight sweetness to them, but I kind of want to leave them and see what the actual peas will taste like. And look, they are absolutely covered with pea pods. So I'm really excited about that. Definitely covered with pea pods, definitely covered with flowers. They're absolutely beautiful. So hopefully they're sweet. And maybe we can save some seeds as well for next year. I mean, isn't that like a beautiful photo right there? Look how beautiful they are. We'll have our sunflowers, which have survived. Although this is a different variety from this one, but so far so good. We do have some survivors. This one is supposed to get huge, so hopefully it transcends the trellis and we have huge sunflower here, so I can collect some seeds from that one. Granted, mammoth sunflowers, it's only $4 a pack from Baker's Creek. I'm literally just being cheap, but I really would like to actually collect my own seeds from this one so that I can plant them out. The seeds are about that big. They're like 3 times the size of normal sunflower seeds. So I am hoping that this sunflower plant does not die on me, because I have the squirrels are relentless. They'll take them, the birds will take the heads. It's been incredible. So I'm hoping that this one survives. I think this one might actually be a striped a striped sunflower. And then for the strawberries, they are doing amazing. I didn't think I had too many plants that survived the winter, and so I was actually going to purchase 3 more, which would have been like $8 to $10 because strawberry plugs have gone up. But I actually realized that most of these plants were more than one. Like this is 2 here. Now you have to be careful with separating strawberries. They don't always do well with that. I did separate 2. This one here, I'm not exactly sure if it'll make it, but it looks like it's starting to grow a little bit here. And then this one here I separated out as well. But that one I actually think I did as well, and that one's doing okay. But all of them so far have strawberries on them, and they have these beautiful flowers. So I didn't have to buy any more strawberries this year, and it looks like they're putting off runners. So I wanted 1 more here. So maybe I'll just redirect this one, kind of just pin it down here once it gets some length on it, and then that'll be my plug for that. Actually, this isn't a runner. This is a plant. A strawberry here. When they do put out runners, I'll just redirect one in the middle there and maybe have 1 more just to be able to replace that one in the middle if I need to. So, thank God. Didn't have to buy any more strawberry plugs this year. Hopefully I don't ever have to buy any more. Just replace them as they go. And then we have all of our blackberry here, which is growing ridiculous. It's growing into the elderberry patch, and all of this needs to be weeded out. I need to take all of these new elderberry shoots out as well. I just want to have this area breathe a little bit, so I do need to just like do something with the floor of this bed. But this one is going crazy, and we have so many blackberry flowers on it. And bees as well. I don't necessarily mind the wasps as long as their nest is nowhere near the house, but they do amazing with insect control. So as long as you keep them happy, put a little bit of water out, and they leave me alone, I'm perfectly okay with them getting all of the insects off the elderberry patch and the blackberries and the raspberries. I did cut this elderberry patch down, It's not at the roof, thank God. It is somewhat manageable, but I might still need a claw just to get some of the top ones. But I definitely do need to weed and prune this area. I just don't want it to look as crazy as it did last year. I also kind of want to net this area as well. I actually do want some elderberries this year, and the common greckles were brutal last year. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have to put a net over this. I have some spare insect netting in the garage that I didn't use to cover up the salad bed. I might just drape it over this one once the flowers have all pollinated. I'll just drape it across so I can actually get my berries this year. I would prefer that and not feed the birds if I could. If I can do that. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. The garden has become a beautiful space. We have calendula. Oh, the poor birds. They want some water, but that water's, I have to switch out that water. But we have calendula. I don't know if you guys can see this in the background blooming here. I want to take the heads because the purpose of growing so much actually was to restock up on my calendula. But they're just so beautiful to look at in the morning when you're looking out the window. So I might let a few bloom, and then I'll take a few, leave a few, give and take. So I'll do that. But the calendula's blooming. The little Adler is blooming here. This thing actually needs a bigger pot. We have beautiful sage behind me. The white sage is taking off. Even my little lavender is holding on for dear life, although that has to be dug up because there's something going on at the bottom with the roots that I need to get to the bottom too. So at some point I'm going to have to dig that up. But everything is just in full bloom, and I am loving it. It's amazing. And I know your gardens are equally as beautiful. I actually saw somebody had a fully grown butternut squash. They must live somewhere tropical because we barely have tomatoes yet and they already have butternut squash. I'm just in awe of the gardening spaces that I'm viewing that I have the privilege of being able to view in various social media sites. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to go dump out those mulberries and go back in the house and hope for drier, less humid days so I can actually do some work out in this garden space. We need weeding, and it needs to be, we need wilt weeding. Some garden beds need to be built. I need to get some sluggo because the cabbage is getting ate up really bad. But that's something for another day. We'll work on that another day. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and you have a beautiful day. Peace.